Sure.
Carl,
I hate it.
you guys all right? How's everybody doing? Good?
Everybody's good. New grandpa.
Huh?
Okay, good evening and welcome to the Village of Webster Board meeting for June 26, 2025. And I would ask you all please to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and you lead us, please.
Oh, sure.
Final.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Carl,
You gotta say that.
Jody, congratulations. I hear you.
Yes,
Yeah. Another boy.
I'm 45 this morning, and another son, another grandson. And 10 pounds, 1 ounce, big baby boy.
And a cute baby boy.
We just got back from seeing him.
They said I got
Oh,
him
baby,
a
that's the
Halloween
same
costume as a gift, but I think he'll be wearing it in July.
Our first order of business tonight, I would like to ask Jude Lanty to come up, please, and other board members, if you would like to join me up here as well. This may be the last time you come here to the podium. Yes, it might be. Jude is retiring from the village board and village life in July. July 7th is going to be her last day, but this will be her last board meeting.
Yes.
And so, Jude, I'd like to read and then give you this proclamation. Whereas Jude Lanty has faithfully served the Village of Webster for more than 2 decades, beginning with her appointment to the Historic Preservation Commission and continuing through her tenure as a valued member of the Village Board of Trustees from 2010 until the present. Whereas throughout her years of service, Jude has remained a dedicated member and advocate of the Historic Preservation Commission, serving as the Village Board liaison, helping to ensure the village remains the special and beloved place that it is today, preserving the charm and character of the community for generations to come, while also embracing thoughtful progress, community-centered improvements that keep the hometown feeling that we all know and love. And whereas Jude also has served with distinction on the village board liaison, as the village board liaison to both the planning and zoning boards, as well as the Webster Business Improvement District, where she offered insight, wisdom, and a steady commitment to the betterment of the community. And whereas, beyond her official role, Jude has always gone above and beyond to bring advocacy and vibrancy to the life of the village, volunteering for numerous community organizations, including Boy Scouts, PTSA, and neighborhood associations, and consistently leading and giving a hand to village events. Whereas Jude has affectionately been known as the village's official Halloween witch, bringing joy
We did, we had fun.
to the residents of all ages with her infectious laugh and joyful spirit at the annual costume contest and trick-or-treat trail event. And whereas her vibrant presence, warm heart, and ever-ready smile have made her a beloved fixture in the Village of Webster, whether she's leading with purpose or simply enjoying the company of neighbors in one of the many local businesses she frequents. And whereas Jude's lifelong connection to Webster having been on Baker Street and born there, growing up in West Webster, and graduating from Webster High School in 1959, reflects the deep roots and enduring love that she holds for this special community. Now, therefore, let it be resolved that we, myself, and the entire village board, even though we're missing one, I would include it, on behalf of the Village of Webster, do hereby recognize and congratulate Trustee Jude Lancey for, wow, for years of dedicated service to the Village Board of Trustees, countless other organizations, and to the Webster Village community as a whole. As you embark, Jude, on your next great adventure, relocating to be closer to family and enjoying well-earned time together, we wish you, with all our hearts, the best, and we extend our heartfelt gratitude. Congratulations.
I want you guys over here.
It's a group.
You have to do what I say now.
Picture? Sure, yes. Oh, sorry.
Carolyn, I your dress is the same out here on this.
I'll just go like this. Get over.
Smile, you all.
I'm concerned this is going to affect Mary Wee's financial status.
I go in there tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow.
All right, I'll start tonight.
Thank you, thank you.
Save you a seat.
Business establishment.
I know. I know.
Well, that's
Wine sales are going to drive.
Wine sales.
Yeah. And I do want the pictures.
Okay, next, as we move on, we have a presentation by Leanne Kimber presenting to the board a grant opportunity that we have available, at least potentially, as a CFA grant, which would help us with a comprehensive plan. So, Leanne, you have the podium.
Thank you. This is a tough act to follow. That was really way more exciting than this. But this is an exciting opportunity. So Heather's pulling up a presentation for everyone to see if the board members have it in front of them. We are considering, or the village is considering, applying for a smart growth community planning program grant to update its comprehensive plan. So the last comprehensive plan was completed for the village in 2011. A lot has happened since 2011, both in the world, in the country, and right here in Webster. So we know that nationwide, there's been shifts in demographics and family structure. Technology has changed. Amazon sold books in 2011. They are, key to our entire economic landscape in 2025. Rise of e-commerce, COVID-19, rising housing costs, all of these things have really changed the way that communities will prioritize different goals and priorities. So all those things need to be considered that are probably not currently reflected in the 2011 comprehensive plan. Locally, the Village of Webster has changed a lot. And just in 2025, your Brownfield Opportunity Area was formally designated. There has been a lot of increased development interest in the north end, not only looking at the Fairlife investment that is just outside the village border. Xerox has sold some of its property to Tessie Plastics. A lot of new interest in development in that area that, while that is concentrated in one area, will have implications for development pressure, housing pressure, and the entire community. And all these things need to be considered and addressed, and an update to the comp plan would do that. So I've met with village leadership a few times to discuss this opportunity. So the CFA is a consolidated funding application. It's a single application for all state funded grant programs that's due every year on July 31st. So this application would be to apply for funding in order to update the comprehensive plan. We're anticipating the budget would be $125,000. It's a 90% fund and then a 10% local match. So the village's contribution would be about $12,500. It is, like most of these grants, it's a reimbursement grant, so the village would have to front the money. My understanding is that you can still get reimbursed at key milestones throughout the process, so it's not like you have to put the entire 125 up at once, but it is reimbursement. And I think, it's in the name of the program, but I think it's important to note that the plan would require, consistency with smart growth principles, which, being a village, I think you're already living up to those principles every day just by nature of what a village is. You're looking for diversity of uses, housing options, different ways of people getting around, not solely relying on a car, but also being able to walk or bike. Infill development, redevelopment of existing structures, things like that are all central to smart growth principles, and that's what this program is meant to evoke. So that would be sort of a central theme to the plan. So I prepared a proposal letter for the village if we decide to resolve to pursue this grant and have our firm prepare the grant on behalf of the village, which would be about $7,000. So that is in the village's hands now, and so if we decide to pass this resolution tonight, then we would get that letter signed and start our process. And we have, exactly a month, give or take, to finish it, so we feel comfortable with the time frame, but we do have to get going pretty quickly. Any questions on the program or?
I wish I was going to be here to help you.
Say again, I know. Well, you still have a week, right?
Yeah. But this is important. I mean, it's something we really need, and you can see it within the village.
Yeah.
We really need that help.
Yeah.
I want to see more participation here when we're meeting it. We don't have it. We haven't had it for a while, so.
So if the application is due July 31st, and when should the village know whether or not it gets the grant?
I think it's usually around Christmas, December. And then after that, it would take some time, to put out competitive procurement, so you have to put out an RFP, get proposals. So I would say we're probably underway this time next year. Hopefully sooner, but depends on how quickly we can get under contract with the state.
An RFP and proposals for the consultant to help with the comprehensive plan?
Mm-hmm.
Is this working between the town and the village?
No, they have their own.
This is, the
Well,
town, I think,
coordinate,
obtained, the town applied for and received the same funding source last year. And so they're currently underway.
Being part of the town would be sharing our growth.
First time I've ever heard you say
The only thing that I think would be in common between the village and the town are the border areas, which I've already talked with Tom about trying to share, looking at the border, but within the town itself, or the village itself. We did it ourselves in 11, and we should
Yeah.
continue to do it.
Okay.
And I think what's good is that because you have the BOA, which kind of does cover those border areas, you have a lot of synergy, and you all agree already on what you want to see there, which is great. But this would allow you to take the BOA, what's written in the BOA, put it in the comp plan, and then, down the line, if there need to be zoning changes to make that consistent, you have a recent comprehensive plan that supports it. And so that makes that easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Leanne, your firm is the consultant for the town's master plan.
Correct. Yeah, yeah. Not me personally, but
Well,
some of my colleagues, yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, in full disclosure, we would propose on the project for sure, but it has to be competitive per the state requirements, so you'd have to put out an RFP and, any firm would be able to respond.
right, you're welcome.
At this time, I would ask the board, this is a little bit out of order, although it's not necessarily on our agenda anyways, but I would like to ask for a motion to hire Colliers to initiate this grant, our RFP in consideration for this grant for the smart growth.
I'll make it proposal.
Second it.
I'm trying to keep my motion.
Oh, wait a minute, no, I'll take that back, I think Judy should have the part.
I was trying to keep my mouth shut, yeah.
Make the proposal.
I'll make it, okay.
I'll
Trustee
second.
Lancy,
Aye.
trustee Abolito,
Aye.
trustee Lauer,
Aye.
Mayor Byers.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Look forward to
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
College.
Just
Great for
to,
that.
Wait,
Go ahead, Don.
do you want to take the other resolution that
Yeah.
Leanne proposed, rather than, because she's got to put all this together by the 31st.
oh,
It's basically the resolution where the village authorizes application for the grant.
Yeah, I think it's a resolution of support to submit the grant,
Right.
separate is, yeah, to authorize Colliers to do the work. Is that what you're saying, Dan?
Yeah, it's the second, it's on the back of,
mhm.
it's on the back of the last page of your Collier's proposal.
Oh, smart growth. Yeah.
This is all one? Well, no, it's in.
Right, you first, well,
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. Well, the
this
proposal
probably should
and
have been
then
on
there's the
first.
resolution.
Yes.
That's,
You
yes.
first decide you want to pursue the grant.
Yes.
And then you decide we're going to hire Colliers to actually write the grant application itself.
there you go.
And we have agreed that we are going to pursue it.
Yeah.
So then, I have before a resolution for the village to apply for the smart growth grant using Colliers as our agent. I would, again, Jude, would you like to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Trustee Lancy,
Aye.
trustee Lauer,
Aye.
trustee Abolito,
Aye.
Mayor Byers.
Right,
Don, will you help me with the wording for what, the two resolutions for the minutes for tomorrow?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Do you need for anything?
Okay.
thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Again.
Congratulations,
Forward to
Jude.
working with you guys.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Kingsley,
Okay, before we move to other regular village business, we'll have a public comment time. So I would open the floor to anyone who would like to address the board. Public comment.
right after him.
Oh, okay, all right.
You can go first if you want.
No, it's all right.
Okay. Peter Elder, 59 Dunning Avenue. So I am here tonight also to speak to Judy's leaving the board. So I have to tell you that when I was appointed mayor in 2010, I left my own seat vacant, and there was some discussion among a lot of people about who would take that spot. Honestly, there was never really any question for me. We had known each other for a while then. There was really no one in the village who better served the village, would be on the village board than Judy. There really wasn't. And so I was proud to do that. I was proud to work with her for the years I was on the village board as mayor. She's a stalwart supporter of the village. She always puts the village's interests first. I saw that in person because we sat next to each other for a while. So it was easy to see her dedication. And then later on, when I was appointed to the Historic Preservation Commission, I got to see it in person again. So it's been an honor to work with her all these years. It has been a joy to see her effort, her tireless commitment to the village. I mean, I'm one of those people that have actually been on the stage in this play when you can actually see the people and what they're doing. And I can tell you that what you see with her is exactly what she is. She's genuine, she's kind, no, let me go. She's genuine, she's kind, she's committed, she's dedicated. Sometimes her printer in her house gets a little challenging for her though. Right? But I will tell you that I've enjoyed the time we've spent together, the many evenings in her house, the many times we tried to figure out her internet connections, the many conversations we've had about the business improvement district, and the activities that we've participated in, from trick-or-treat trail to activities around the village. It was impossible for me to actually make the list, there were so many. So all I can say is that when
But we had fun.
we did, and we had so much fun, and we would laugh together, we would get concerned together, sometimes we would even get a little sad together. But the fact of the matter is that there was this kind of unique companionship that I developed. I will always prize it. I have to tell you one little story, I don't want to go on too long, but we were talking about one time about her father. And her father had just an amazing life, everyone. If you should look him up. And so I did. I actually looked him up. I found every newspaper article I could possibly find in the Webster Herald, going back through all of the historic newspapers because I have access to a lot of that. And I actually put it all together and I gave it to her. And it went from the time that he had gone into service, the time he had met his wife, to the times that he had done his business in West Webster. And I have to tell you that you often hear about apples falling from trees, and her family is one of those foundational things that I think helped her be the person that she is. And you're an example, your family's an example, and that's the other thing I want to let you all know is that her family goes way back in this town. So we talked about her history, but I also want to let you know that her family has deep roots here as well. So I think when you look at that, you look at the great soil, the fertile soil we have in Webster that produces great people, and then you look at the great people that's produced, Judy, you're one of them. So I just want to thank you for everything you've done, everything that we've done together, and I wish you well. I really do in the coming years as you enjoy yourself with your family on the West Coast. You deserve it. You deserve it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Jody Lauer. I live at 88 Dunning Avenue. I just know Judy on a different level because I know her socially. So Peter is such a hard act to follow, but we were the ones that drove Judy to the mayor's dinner. We were the ones that struggled to take Jude to the Barry's Irish Festival, all the things that are hard to do. We took Jude to the Eclipse party up at Ridgecrest. And Judy is not only loyal and, totally dedicated to this village, but she's also such a fun person, and she took part in so many Webster things. So we will miss you at all the Webster gatherings. Stay in touch, and like I said, we do have a spare bedroom now, so if you're in town, you got a place to stay.
Yes.
Okay?
Oh,
Thanks,
thank
Judy.
you. Thank you.
Hello everybody, I'm Brandon Dubois from Troop 163 out of Webster, New York, chartered by the Lions Club. I'm pursuing my Eagle Scout project right now, so I'm currently a Life Scout, and I've been having conversations with Mr. Swingley about Wilmarie Park near my house. They have a couple picnic benches over there that have been broken, and they're not really able to be sat on right now. My plan for my Eagle project is to go back there, get those out of there, and then clean it up, and replace the picnic benches. So I just wanted to come here to propose that project to you guys, get the approval and answer any questions you guys had about it. So, yeah.
Wow, thank you.
I like that proposal.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
What do you need? What do you need? What can we do to help you do this?
I'm not really sure, to be honest.
Okay.
If you have any fundraising that I could do, or information about fundraising I could do for this to help offset the cost for me and my family, that would be great. But I think we'll probably have materials covered. Definitely we'll have labor covered. But yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Peter,
I would like to talk to you about that.
we could use
Yeah.
some of the wood from the,
Well, maybe
Baggage depot.
Possibly, yeah.
That's what, yeah.
Would that be suitable for table?
Hard to tell.
Table.
Well, I mean,
We're
it's
talking about the benches,
the bench,
the
yeah.
benches that are in such bad
Yeah,
shape.
well, I mean, we have all different sizes, shapes, lengths, but some is oil soaked, so I don't know.
So it might be useful.
Yeah.
If you turn those over, it's probably okay.
And we could we'll certainly look at that.
We have a large supply of
Yes.
wood from our former baggage depot down on the railroad tracks
Okay,
that we might be able to help you with
Okay.
supplies.
okay, cool, yeah,
Just send us an email
So,
like you did and
who's
we'll
gonna
forward
stay
it
in
on
touch
to
with
Mayor
you?
Byers.
all right,
Okay?
awesome, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, if you would, leave contact information,
Yeah, yeah,
and we will be in touch,
okay,
whether it's through that, which was a great idea, because it's in use then, which would be in our parks, or whether we look at Parks and Rec, and what's available through that.
okay, yeah, for sure. All right, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Great proposal, thank you.
Yeah, I had a scout troop in the city, and that's what we used to try so hard. Every little thing that we could do within our neighborhood, we tried to do, yeah. Makes a
Yeah.
big difference,
Yeah, wanted to stay close to the area we live in, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
important.
You said you live close to Wilmerite?
Yeah, it's like kind of in my backyard. We built a bridge to get over to it, like, 'cause there's like a creek separating us from it. So yeah, it's kind of in our backyard.
Are you in the village or the town?
Town, I think.
Town, because crossing the bridge to get there,
Yeah.
you're coming from.
Yeah, yeah. We live like kind of on the edge of the village and town.
That's okay. Because what I'd like to see, and I've already had a conversation with Jake, is, and in fact, I was over there and drove over the other day and looked, there is a lot of area in front where the gate that's locked could be moved further back about 50 feet, 40, 30 feet. And that open area that's in between, whether people in the area like it or not, could be open for parking, so people don't have to park on the street and can actually have a place where they
Yeah.
can pull in and then access that area. So we'll try this summer or whatever to, starting now, to work with what you're doing, but also to open that park up a little bit. It's a great park,
Yeah, and a lot of families use it from the neighborhoods around it, yeah.
but there are some who look at it as a private reserve
Mhm.
because it is hard to access.
Yeah, yeah.
Certainly from the village point of view. I know a gentleman who used to walk through the woods, get there to hit golf balls.
Yeah,
Which was
I
great.
do. I do go back there and hit some golf
some balls
balls.
there, right?
sometimes, yeah, so-
It wasn't you, but it was.
I think it's mostly foot traffic. I don't see very many people. I think it's mostly that neighborhood,
Right.
Iroquois, and then our neighborhood, our kids. I mean, he's older now, but we used to play on the playground and things, so that moving that would be great, because then people could drive there.
It's a nice little park
Mhm.
that we have that really doesn't have much publicity, I suppose you'd say, or exposure. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
Give us contact information.
Yeah.
I have it forward.
You do
I
it?
can forward your emails to me.
Okay.
Pardon, Carl?
We used to be able to pull in and park before the gate, there was, that kind of stuff.
Well, the gate's been moved out to the road. If you have been by there lately.
Yeah. It was a parking lot, I
Okay, anyone else who would like to address the board? If not, I will close the public comment portion of our meeting, and we'll move now to with the first order of, on our agenda is resolution to approve minutes from June 12th and May 22nd. So you have them in front of you. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Now, second.
Trustee Lauer?
Aye.
Trustee Lancy?
Aye.
Trustee, Mayor Byers?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next, we have a resolution to approve the claims and warrants. I believe they're very small this month.
Yes.
But
I had to do a double take myself when it was only 2 pages.
Good, it's good.
I looked them over, and I would make that motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
Yeah. The expenditures.
Mayor Byers?
Aye.
Trustee Lauer?
Aye.
Trustee Lancy?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next, we have a resolution to authorize the mayor to sign stormwater easements and agreements for 246 South Ave and 250 South Avenue.
If I can, Mr. Mayor, could we, I'd like to ask to table this. We
Okay.
have the agreements to the other parties, but they're not back from them yet, so in case there's anything that has to change, I don't want to have to do it again later on, so. Once I hear back from them, then we'll ask to put it back on if we can.
That makes sense.
So they haven't sent this back or looked at it and responded really to it?
Yeah, yep, and we just got them to them the end of last week, so I give them time, and there's both the properties, actually, the occupants of the properties, that there's different owners, so they're gonna have to go from them, I gave them to the occupants, they're gonna have to give them to the owners, and then get back, and I haven't heard back on those yet. I called them, left a message for one today to follow up, but I haven't heard back yet.
All right. Table. So that will be tabled until further information is forthcoming. Next, we have a discussion about the village entrance signs. This is information you have in front of you, and it was sent by Trustee Lauer, Kane, and he did send information regarding the price. It does say regarding the design, it could go 100 directions for that. Can we talk about it first before I spend a couple of hours on design? And that would be, it looks like Mr. McAllister there at McAllister Signs. So I know that this is the first, well, not necessarily the first, but it's the first time I see it like this. And I am probably in agreement with Jerry, who says that he would like to see a little bit better design to this. But I am in favor, very definitely, in terms of doing something at both ends. This would be at the west end and at the east end of Main Street as you come into the village. And also to coordinate that, I think, which we kind of leave out with the entrance at the south, on South Avenue.
Yes.
Because all three of those signs basically are the same, so. And I don't know if that will change pricing or that's an individual price, because it's the first, I guess, I've seen of it, but anyways, I'd like to see all three of them.
Yeah, me too.
Agreed. Absolutely agree on that one.
You have a comment, Jake?
Well, I was just saying, I'd be happy to work with Chris and get some different options for you to look at and see what you can come up with. Is there elements that you would like to see in here that I could forward on to her and say, you know, this general, this is okay, but you're looking for A, B, or C? You know, we had talked before, a couple of years ago, about rehabbing the existing signs, but no one could paint the birds and things
Right,
that
we
were in
couldn't
the
get
middle
it
of them.
done, yeah. I couldn't.
so there was a discussion at that time, is there, whatever, or if you want to think about it, email me and then I can forward that on to, that information on to Chris and then have something to bring back for you to look at and consider.
Yeah, I would like Jerry's input as well. So, I mean, if we're looking at sending something out and then a response back. Response back.
Yeah, I'll send an email out to the board and see what.
Yeah, because I really like the way
everybody
this looks. It's just nice and bold and.
I just like it the way it is.
Yeah. I really do.
Well, the way this is or the way it is already?
That's,
Yeah. I mean, people don't stop and look at the sign, I mean, go by it from 40 miles an hour, so.
yeah, I like it. It's
If
big.
they
bold,
allow it,
yeah.
Or it should be.
30, I know, but I was thinking it's out there.
Don't follow Carl.
You don't follow me. But I think
It is
that right there.
simplistic, but there are just some other
sufficient.
things. Jerry talked about something up on top that extends a little bit higher than what he has here. So
What is
we'll
this
just
size?
let it sit, and if you are happy with it, it could stay as is. But if there are other ideas, let's think about them. We can agree next time.
Yeah, because it looks like it's big, bold, and then it's just got some little softness around like the top of it and stuff. I really like that.
I do too.
We have the village logo.
I don't know if Jake cares about the softness around the top of it.
No, you
Oh,
don't
no,
need a lot of
I-
design,
yeah.
because,
I like
Like I
it,
said, whatever.
whatever we want.
Whatever you want, we'll get. And it looks like the same size, it's just overlaid over the top of the existing sign, the picture, so it's the same size as the existing signs and,
Okay.
I don't
Can
think
I
I
ask a
put,
question? We're going to speak. Can I just ask a quick question? What about the sign on the north end? What is that? That doesn't need to be replaced, right?
That was just put up within the last few
Yeah.
years. That's
But what if you
entry
kept everything
gateway.
the same for consistency's sake?
I think the problem was, we had talked about that in terms of a cobblestone base.
Yeah, the one
I
on,
love
the
that.
one on North is very expensive though.
Yeah.
Very.
It is pretty, isn't it?
I love the consistency of cobblestone, especially with our beautiful North Avenue. Just lay down there with the gazebo and just getting cobblestone carried out. Have consistency in all the signs, I think it would be awesome.
We reviewed it, it's very expensive.
It is
The
expensive.
Parks Committee looked into it, we'd love to keep that consistency, Matt Chatfield was very much in favor of it,
Yeah.
but when we looked at the cost, it was
They just said it was
huge cost.
$126,000 for 3 more.
Yeah.
Of those
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unless we can find somebody that can do cobblestone.
What about the scout?
For free.
Yeah,
But the sign itself, the sign that says Village of Webster,
yeah.
It was still,
not, I love the base, but the sign itself, if you continue that consistency in your advertising, I think that that's at all locations.
Well, what I would ask is that this be thought up. Responses can come in, whether they come in verbally or email them, or we will entertain them, have a further discussion, I think, at the next, we need to vote on it in the next meeting. This is what you like. Personally, it can be. I would like to see a little bit more on top. Or somehow go with, I mean, this would be then 3 out of the 4 entryways.
Who did the actual graphic about the one on North Ave? Who did the, I know, not the base, but did the same people do the sign on North Avenue?
it was through the grant.
It was the North Ave Connector project as part of that, and I want to say Hunt was the person who did like the landscape design and to include that sign, I believe, or Blue Engineers, I forget which one did
I
that.
thought McAllister could do something that would complement it if they can't do
Oh.
the same.
The sign itself, I think,
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if McAllister's made it or if somebody else made it, but, yeah, I'm certain that you could do something that's the same. And like I said, it's just a matter of, that was the original plan, was to carry that through, but,
Yeah.
and then we had a hard time getting someone to come back, the one that somebody hit with a landscape trailer down there just to fix non-cobblestone stuff. And one person, I did 5 or 6 grand.
It costs so much.
I could just put that on a thing, but I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send out an email in the morning then and collect everybody's
Yeah.
ideas.
Very good. So we'll hopefully have something that we can put together and have the degree of agreement on it, maybe we'll vote on it next meeting. And get started. Nice to have. Okay, we are at item number 5, which is a resolution to authorize the superintendent of public works to solicit bids for construction of a new pole barn at the wastewater treatment plant. I would call your attention to a slight discrepancy if you looked at this. If you look at the cover page, it says wastewater treatment plant, WWTP. Storage pole barn, request for bids is June 27th, and bid submission deadline 1 p.m. July 21st. That is correct. If you look at page 4 of the packet, there it says bid date is July 20, excuse me,
July 20th.
or was it July 9th?
Yep.
Bid time 1 p.m. local time. So that is an error. That needs to be corrected. Otherwise, everything else, I believe, has been looked and reviewed by attorney and
Change to July 21st, I'm sorry.
Sorry?
I'm gonna change it in your, did you say July 21st?
July
Yeah,
21st.
change it in the thing tomorrow. I've got a note to do that.
Excuse me.
Okay,
Yes, July 21st.
thank you.
So I would ask for a motion to authorize Jake to solicit bids for construction.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Trustee Lancy?
Aye.
Trustee Lauer?
Aye.
Mayor Beckles?
Aye.
Motion passes.
At this time, I will turn it over to Don. Do you have anything, Don, that you would like to bring to the attention of the board?
Well, the mayor, you're already aware of this, but the process to adjust the village and town municipal boundaries or borders with Xerox is going to commence very soon. The attorney for Xerox has prepared the petitions. I think they gotta get approved by someone with the Xerox people themselves, but I'm guessing we'll have them within the next 2 weeks or so.
I saw a draft and yes, Xerox is very, very ready at this point to make those changes in boundary.
At least, yeah, especially regarding the west campus, where the boundary right now goes through the middle of the 3 buildings there.
Yes, it's ridiculous.
It's kind of silly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in case people are listening and not aware of it, I don't think I have to speak out of turn necessarily, but the village boundary would be on the west campus, moved from kind of dividing part of the 3 buildings the lower half, southern half being in the village and the northern part being in town, moving that right up to Chiota, which would be then village property up to Chiota. And on the other side, on the east side of Phillips, there is a extension of the village that goes up and through part of Xerox behind one of the buildings. And that would be moved to the south, that boundary that is on the northeast side of Phillips would move down so that it would come down to Mitchell Dean. Mitchell Dean, of course, stays in the village. And then also there is a sliver of land that extends from Ridge Road to, pardon?
San Jose.
It is a sliver in which there is a underground pipe, I believe, that connects to something up there. But anyways, what it's doing is it does the village no good, and it divides a very large piece of property on the south side of the expressway that borders Ridge Road, and it would allow the whole property then to become town. And not necessarily that they could build over it, but they could still be in the town. So those are the things that we're looking at. After years of struggle with Xerox, they are finally ready to move on this.
But finally,
Yeah.
finally.
So that will be coming before the board. Okay. Anything from the front office? No? Quiet? Tax season is almost over,
Yes.
right?
It's
Couple
definitely
more
not
days.
quiet, but yeah,
Couple more days,
yes.
get your taxes, turned in, village taxes.
But it's actually been nice because I get to meet people and they come in and I give out my card, and so it's nice. We let people know what we're doing. And actually Karen's gonna be putting out another, her weekly newsletter. So she's gonna re-highlight who lives in the town, who lives in the village, and kind of, people sometimes still forget that, and what services we offer. So look for that in the next one.
Okay, Jake?
Well, I think the nicest thing I could do to June after the last meeting is to say I have nothing.
You know, but very seriously, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have even been here ever. He's the one that convinced me, hey, we got an opening, what do you think?
And I'm glad I did.
Sure. We've had some really good times. But I've known the Swingley family forever. His uncle ended up, when I got married, he was a priest at that point and married. And I went to school with there were triplets, and I went to school with them. And then Bill was the one that turned into a priest. And I didn't want a big deal wedding, you know how I am. And Billy said, well, yeah, come on down to St. Salome's, and yeah, I'll fit you in. And that was, and I was in his house when he was on Main Street there, way before he was ever born. Yep, we had some good times, so, then we lived next door to each other, we really had a good time. And we'd have big parties when that was carnival time, and I had Paul Scheibel on the one side, and then me, and then Jake, and our whole front yards were just filled with people and beer and other things.
Some of them we knew even.
Yeah. We had a really good time. And then the one time when, was it, the Shriners. The Shriners were coming through on their motorcycles, and one of them I had known from the Iron Horseman, and he saw me and he said, you know, he pulled up, he said, hey, little girl, you want to ride? And so I jumped on the motorcycle and I thought, I probably shouldn't do this, I'm a trustee, maybe I shouldn't. And then I waved at you. But it was fun. So I have had so much fun with this group of people. We got a lot done. We had some good arguments. But I think we've made changes. I think we really helped to make some changes here. And we got more to go.
Yep.
But I want to thank Peter with all the work that we did, oh my goodness sakes. And we made some changes. And we got some people to recognize a few things that we didn't think we were going to do. And then people like Jody and Carl, and I'm thankful for all of them, even Don. His wife is fun though. Oh, yeah, right.
Are you intimating I'm not?
Yes, you are.
Oh, right, thank you. I was just moving, the next village meeting is on a Tuesday, so I
It is on a Tuesday.
gotta adjust my calendar.
Oh, dear. Well, I won't be there. Yeah, my son wants me to get involved in Oregon.
It's not Thursday, as it is on here, but it's
Thank you.
Tuesday, July 6th.
Carnival.
Fourth on Friday, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, it is the 8th, but it is on a Tuesday.
I missed
It
that.
says,
It says
Thursday.
Thursday, July 8th, so
Oh,
that's why I
sorry.
was confused.
It's Tuesday, July.
Tuesday, July 8th.
Sorry.
I think 46 pages.
Problem.
One thing. The one page.
But it is at 6 instead of 6:30 for the organization meeting.
Correct.
Oh,
Correct. It will begin at
Give
6.
this calendar.
Organizational meeting will be
Yeah,
at
you
6
changed it
o'clock,
to
and then a regular board meeting will
Look at
begin.
that. Now it says
6:30.
Tuesday.
Right?
Magic.
Why is this one at 6?
Organizational meeting first. I don't
And
know,
that will
that's what they
take a
voted on
while
last.
to get through, maybe.
Okay.
it's for newly elected board members.
We have a newly appointed one
We
here.
do.
Okay. Well,
It is.
congratulations again to you and best wishes. And you have left a great legacy here in the village. And, wish you the best.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am going to have a really good time, because the grandkids have been after me for 2 years. And I just said, okay, it's time, it's just time. And Hannah, my granddaughter, just said, no, Graham, I want you out here when we can have fun still. So I said, okay, okay.
Bring your own king boots.
Yep. Oh, they do kayaking and everything.
All right. Well, anything else? If not, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you all a good night. And Michael,
Yeah,
this is sort of how they run.
all right. Good
Yeah,
enough.
glad you were here, Mike.